So just got Bubs off leash here. He's being a good boy. Not a huge distraction here. We're just at home. But he is playing with the other dogs and stuff, so that's good practice for him. His recall's doing quite well under this kind of low distraction setting. He still needs a bit of practice when there's a new person that comes to the house, a new car. He wants to go and see them. So he'll come back, but he wants to go back and see them. So when he comes back to me, I do lots of praise and treats, and then I'm holding him so that he can't go back. I've done it where I called him back a couple times, and his recall kind of decreases in how well it is after the first time. So this is Bubba, come. Good boy. Good job. He's using some cheese here as a reward. He likes that. Good boy. And when you're in public, he gets nervous. And then if he gets spooky, he has a hard time with everything. He has a hard time with his leash walking. He has a hard time with his recall. He has a hard time doing his set. He just needs to leave, or he needs to be contained at that point. If you notice him getting scared, it's just get him to you and get him out of there. Because he's just he's not capable. He just needs a little more practice with loud sounds. And a skateboarder went past on a walk the other day, and he just got freaked right out. So just things like that. He just needs a little more practice, and taking him into public with you will help. Just hanging out. He doesn't have to go on a walk. You can just hang at a park or whatever. And he needs a little reassurance. So he'll need a hug or a pet if he gets freaked out, and then that helps him move on too. So he's playing with the other dogs. I'm going to call him Bubba. Come. Very nice. Good job. So going back, very common for him. He's not sticking around all the time, so I'll just keep calling him back and feeding him just to remind him to stay close. Good dogs. Good boy. Okay, let's go. And then some basic recall rules for him are: don't chase him. Don't try and chase him down if he ignores you. Always stand your ground. Back up. Back away from him. Get him to come to you. Because sometimes he'll still, if he doesn't want to, he resists. And you just have to be patient. And make sure that he does what you ask him to do. Because I know he's had a lot of freedom at home, and he's gotten away with some things. With some running off. So if there's a situation where you're finding, he's not coming, and he's getting kind of running off or whatever, that's a time when you want to have the long line on him. So that if he decides, you give him the choice, call him, don't pull him, call him, good boy. And good boy. Call him, and if he doesn't come, good boys, then you can give him a little bit of leash pressure, right? Make sure that he finishes it. He comes all the way on his own. You're not dragging him the whole way, because he knows how to do it. He just needs to be reminded that that's how you do it, and you need to repeat that a bunch of times, especially if it's very situation specific, like if it's coming in at night, but for bed, probably not, but if it's, there's something outside that he wants to see, or sometimes if we're getting into the car and I'm not going to bring him, we're just going to go into town quickly, he doesn't want to come back inside because he doesn't want to be left. So those kinds of things, he's very motivated in that moment not to come. So just stand your ground. And if you need to, beforehand, you're loading up your car or something, put a leash on him. Just let it drag. You don't have to hold it. And then when it's time, you don't even have to call him. You could just bring him in. Or you can practice calling and then use the leash if he tries to avoid you. And inside, I found the same thing. He'll try to run from me if he doesn't want to be left. And that's the main thing. If I need to separate him from me, he doesn't like it. So it's okay. It's just part of his personality. He doesn't want to be left alone. So he resists that. But I just follow through with it. I'll make sure that he comes and he does it on his own. I'm not dragging him around. And I'm not going to let him run away and get away with it. So I'll always follow through, make sure he goes. You know, I've been putting him in my bedroom when we leave, when I need to work with another dog. And sometimes he'll just be like, no, and he'll try to run into the kitchen. And I'll just stand there and make sure that he comes and he goes in. So you just have to be patient and stubborn. As stubborn as a sheepdog who has separation anxiety.